My name is Washington, your facilitator for today, and I'm going to take you through our lesson today on metal arc welding. So, before I begin this lesson, I want to know who are present, my students. So I want to give you an opportunity just to introduce yourselves. As I have introduced myself, I also want to give you, in as much as I have my list of the students, but I need to attach the name to the face. So kindly, you start from my extreme right, alright? You introduce yourself so that you can now go to the Peter. Peter, yes. Gladys. Edgar, yes. Derek, yes. Samuel. Isaiah Blanco. Oguma. Elvis Mikaela. So, as I have known each and every one of you, I want to take us through this lesson today. So before we start, let me just write down the expectations. So what's the date today? Yeah? It's 10th of June 2026. So our topic today is on manual metal arc welding. Manual metal arc welding. And under the manual metal arc welding, we are going to start on safety. So, by the end of this lesson, we have specific objectives for this lesson that we expect that by the end of this lesson, each and every one of us shall have captured. So one is by the end of this lesson, by the end of this session, learners should be able to one, we should be able to define PPE, define PPE, PPE. The second objective, we should be able to identify different PPE used in identify different PPEs used in manual. So manual metal arc welding can be abbreviated as MMAW. So if I write it that way, it simply means manual metal arc welding. Used in manual metal arc welding. Then lastly, to be able to demonstrate correct use of PPE. Correct use of PPEs. And also lastly, observe safety precautions used in welding process. So by the end of this lesson, we expect to have learned, to have attained all this. So I would just encourage each and every one of us to be attentive and participate in the class. So as we begin, I want each and every one of us, just in group, because I can see we are around 10 in groups of twos, just face your neighbor, just face your neighbor, and just get a pair, somebody whom you can share with. So in group of twos, kindly in group of twos, I would want us to mention some of the PPEs that we will to use in our welding workshop. PPEs, so just in 1 minute discuss, then I'll be able to ask you questions as you answer me. So are we done? Yes. So what are some of the PPEs that we use in our welding workshop? Yes, Peter? Safety boots. So PPEs in our welding workshop. So we have safety boots. 2. Safety goggles. Another one. Dashboard overall. Yes, Derek? Welding sheet. Some helmet. Is that? Gloves. Can as well say safety gloves, right? Right? Measure. Right? Respirator. Respirator. So as we proceed, we'll be able to know each and every one of them. But as we said previously that we were supposed to, I know each and every one of us know what PPE is. What is PPE? Okay.
PPE is acronym for personal protective equipment.
It's an acronym for personal protective acronym for personal protective equipment. And these personal protective equipment are basically the clothing that we put on to safeguard us from injury, especially when we work in the workshop. Because we know very well that when we are operating in the workshops, we are prone to a number of injuries. Like if we concentrate more on the welding, there are a number of injuries that are associated to a welding operation. Things to do with the sparks that comes or emanates from the welding operation, and also there are some things that is being generated when we continue to do the welding operation. So it is important that we put on these PPEs to protect us against that. Is that okay? Now, we all know what is a safety boot, and this safety boot, for it to be referred to as safety, it needs to have some metal toe cap that ensures that it is, even if something falls on your feet, it will not damage, it will not give you an injury, it will not protect you, it will protect you from anything that is falling, especially in the workshop. And then safety goggles, you know, and most of these goggles, since we are talking of welding, there is always that bright light that comes from the welding. So the goggle we are talking about here should be able to have a safety lens that will be able to protect your eye from being damaged because of that infrared radiations that come from the welding light. That's what, and of course, I can give as a representation of this so that it becomes easier for us to be able to attach, rather to know what we are talking about here. So, I would like us to look at the board. Seems to be a technical issue, but no problem. So I believe all of us can be able to see what is projected on the screen, on the board, that is. I hope it's clear. Yeah. So as you can see, we're talking about this safety equipment, and when you talk about safety boots, this is what we are referring to as the safety boots. Okay? It is worn on the feet to protect you against. So this is what we are talking about, the safety boot. So this safety boot protects your feet from anything that is falling on the ground that protect you against injuries. We have the safety goggles. These are the safety goggles. And we also have the dust coat. No, we have an apron, and then this is this kind of a reflector, and then we also have a welding. Now for this case, there is no welding sheet, but I will be able to show you that in the next slide. And then we also have the helmet, which is this one. It is worn on the head, and you can see the picture there indicating the same. We have the gloves. You can see the gloves here. And we also have the respirator. You can see the respirator. Then, in our next slide, I want to show you what the welding shield. Now, as you can see here, there's a conglomeration of a number of protective equipment here. But this is what we are referring to as the welding shield. The welding shield. And in our next slide, I'll be able to show you how it is supposed to be worn whenever you are in the welding operation. So this is the welding shield. We have this as an apron, which is made of a leather material. We also have this as the safety gloves for the welding operations. And the material that is used to make this is a leather product. And then we have this other goggles. I think this we saw in the previous slide, but this one is also another specific goggle that is having some lenses that protect you against the rays. Then lastly, I also want to show us, I have, you can see in my slide, the proper way in which these equipments are worn. You can see the welder is well protected. He has a shield which is protecting his eye and the entire face from this bright light. He has the apron, the leather apron is worn correctly. You can see the gloves that have been worn on the hands protects him from that excess rays that comes from this the web. And then, so we have seen how these PPEs are worn correctly, and then it is also important that we be able to observe that whenever we are in the welding workshop. So I want us just in groups of two, because we have very short time. Groups of two. Each and every one of us, I just want us to take how important do you think these safety equipment are to us in the welding? Just in some few minutes. How do you think the PPEs are important to us? So I'll just pick randomly. So just be ready. If I pick at you, you'll be able to tell me the importance. So Edgar, what is the importance? So which equipment helped us prevent from that injury?
Like for the safety,
Yes.
they prevent your youth of things like something.
Yes. Another importance, Sam?
They reduce exposure to workplace hazards. Like the helmet reduces exposure.
Yeah, that's so it reduces the exposure to those welding hazards, and especially the rays that comes from the welding operation. Yes, Isaac? It improves on the work efficiency. Very important. And the reason as to why that is key is because when you become confident that now your body is protected, so you will also be able to concentrate much more on the work, and the efficiency of the work will also be improved, because now your whole concentration is on the work itself, other than thinking about your safety, because you are well protected. So as we finish up, I just want to give us an assignment. Just want to give us an assignment. So in groups of five, no, in fact, you only have one, two, in groups of five, two, in four, because one, yes, I only have 8 students, and our time is how much gone. So I just want each and every group, group 1 and group 2, just do a discussion to and bring that report in the next coming day. So please just find out what are some of the importances of the safety codes in the workshops. Safety codes, safety color codes that we use in the workshops. So find out what importance these color codes have in the workshop. So that is your assignment to carry home. So unless there is any question, is there anyone with any question before we complete or finish up the lesson? Anybody? Yes? The respirator. In the, let me just ask that, answer that. In the previous slide that we shared there, this one here, the respirator, it is one of the equipment that is worn on it protects you from the excessive fumes that comes either from the welding operation. Because you realize that whenever you are doing a welding operation, there are always fumes that comes out from the wall, that comes out from the welding. So respirators helps us against that, and it is one either it protects your nose and also your mouth. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, David?
Is it advisable to use the overall of the dust in the welding? Which is advisable?
Now for the welding operation, it is advisable, just as I showed you in the previous slide, the one that the guy who was doing the welding operation, you can see he put on an apron that leather, this kind of apron. So like this one you cannot use for a welding, because you see this one is very light. But for a welding operation, we have an equipment that is very much strong and can be able to withstand the heat that comes from the welding operation. So the best one is an apron, this lever apron. Okay? Any other question? Thank you. Have a good time, and you can meet next time. Ensure you finish up on your assignment. Thank you.